Hi everyone, I'm the founder of Bonnet. I'm going to be giving you a demo on the Bonnet web portal and the features. So I'm going to be logging into our demo account, as you can see here. So the first thing is all your vehicles will be traffic lighted in terms of priority. So all of the red ones are within 10 days or overdue. Then we've got orange, which is 20 to 30 days till due, and all the other cars are there in green, which are fine and don't need any attention. So basically that's how simple it is to just see what vehicles are needing priority at the top. We have this view, which is the standard view, but then of course we've got a table view for our fleet customers that are quite used to looking at spreadsheets. This is probably going to be a lot more familiar for you to look at, and of course you can toggle between the two screens. So this view does fit in a lot more vehicles. You can fit up to 50 per page, and then of course go to the next page. So it's got the same kind of theory in terms of traffic lighting, and then the buttons to book a service, add a service note, or refresh due dates are on the left. I'm just going to go back to the other view. So here you've got all the vehicles. If you just simply click on any part of a vehicle, it will pop up with more information. So you've got here what we pulled back from the NZTA, which is the vehicle type. The vehicle type, you can select a different type of vehicle and the fields will change depending on what type of car that is. As you can see, motorcycle, agricultural machine, etc, etc. But by default, when you actually add this vehicle, it will populate with the correct type of fields. So what we pull back from the NZTA when you simply enter in the number plate is the make, model, colour, manufacturer and year, WOF, rego, and of course RUCs if the RUCs are applicable too. The odometer is actually the last known odometer reading that you got when you got a WOF or COF, so that field is quite important to make sure is up to date, otherwise you may see that your RUCs are overdue. We've then got a nickname field, so this is really good for like putting in the driver's name who's driving the vehicle, or potentially if it's like a spare trailer or what type of machine, or the use of this vehicle. Then we've got of course WOF and rego, which pull back from the NZTA, service due date, and then service due kilometres. So service due date is the date that the service is due, and then service due at these kilometres is what kilometre count that this vehicle will need a service at. So whatever actually hits first will trigger the alert for needing a service. So if you don't use this vehicle and all of a sudden it's been a year, this will flag for a service, or if of course you get over the threshold of kilometres, it will also flag for a service. Then we've got the RUC licence cover and end, which is how many kilometres you've got until you go over that RUC licence. Then optional fields are also warranty date, insurance expiry date, and select insurer. So if you're a business, you can go through here and add the business insurance that you've got for this vehicle, or if you're a private use customer, you can actually find the different insurer in here and put that in too. Select the type of cover this vehicle has, and then upload the policy document, which always gets lost. So I mean, I'm quite familiar with always losing those documents, so to have them all in one place will be quite handy. And then you'll find that when you actually click back into this vehicle, you'll see that document down there. And then you've got select service centre. So we've got 800 service centres in New Zealand loaded onto Bonnet. You just simply need to type in their name and then they will populate. What this will do is it will create a link between you and that service centre, and you can just simply click on book now and it will take you to the right booking page for that service centre. If the service centre is using the Bonnet CRM on their side, they will be able to add service notes, and all those service notes will instantly show in your dashboard with their logo next to them, so you can see which ones are the authentic service centre ones and ones for drivers, or which ones you've entered, which is really, really handy to make sure you've got all that WOF information, all the information that could potentially need to be done on a service in the future. And then of course we are looking to build some AI technology in there to summarise those service information for you, so you can quickly see at a glance what could potentially need to be done shortly, as well as the average cost of that vehicle in terms of servicing. So that's it really in a nutshell. These green icons, you can click these and they'll open up the NZTA registration portal or the RUC portal. We of course are hoping to implement the RUC purchasing within Bonnet and then in the next wee while, but at the moment all of those two buttons just open up a window to the NZTA site with where you start to purchase those new licenses. So that's basically all of the vehicle details. I'm just going to show you how to add a vehicle now. So if you go up to the top right and go add a new vehicle, and you put in a number plate. I'm running out of ones that I can think of. They're all pretty much already in here, so I'll try and think of a plate that I haven't thought of. Let's hope this works. Typical. Okay, perfect. I've gone and entered in a random plate, and of course it's a Ford Ranger. Fun fact: Ford Ranger is the most popular vehicle in Bonnet, and so of course we've got all of that information pulled back from the NZTA. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to say that this is Josh's car. WAF registration is in there. Ruck license start, his latest odometer reading is 601, so that's when he got a WAF registration. So let's change that to 75,000 kilometres. Machine hours, warranty due date. So you can set that preference to whatever you want. Insurance, select insurer. I'm going to go with Westpac. Insurance type, comprehensive, upload policy, and then I'm going to select a service centre. Then add that vehicle. This then takes me to where that vehicle was added, and of course because I've already put my kilometres as over the ruck license, you can immediately see that those rucks have been flagged there, and you can see how many rucks we've got over as well. So important to note that you, if you're using this for fleet purposes, you can log into the website version with the same credentials as you can log into the app. The difference between the two is that the website version has a lot more features, and the app version is more so for seeing the vehicle statuses at a glance. Also really handy if you want to walk around your fleet and actually enter in the odometer readings and you don't want your drivers to do it. However, we've got quite a cool tool in terms of if you do want to invite your drivers, they can we basically can invite them, create them a profile, and share different vehicles within Bonnet. So essentially, if you've got 13 vehicles and you've got 13 drivers, you can invite all of those drivers to Bonnet. If they're swapping and changing between vehicles, you can invite the whole fleet per driver. So for example, if you want to get an updated ruck count first of the month, you just send out a text and tell all the drivers to pop into Bonnet, enter in the odometer reading of the vehicle they're in, and then instantly all of the servicing information as well as ruck information will instantly update. So let me show you how to add a driver. Just go to drivers, we go add a new driver. So I'm going to go enter in the driver information there. Let's actually call that Greg test. We also can put in driver license expiration. So we can put in driver license expiration for Greg. So let's just say his driver license is expiring on the 13th of the 11th, and then here I can select the vehicles from the vehicles that you've added to Bonnet in terms of what he's going to see on his side. So if he drives just one vehicle, I'd suggest just to share the one, but if Greg's in and out of all these different cars, you can select all of these different vehicles and then invite. So it's important to know what you're doing here is you're actually creating Greg a profile instantly with those vehicles requested to be linked. So when I click invite, he's going to receive an email with credentials to log into his profile, which if he wants to accept those driver linking invitations, he needs to log into the website version of Bonnet, go to the vehicle invitations section, which will automatically land on, and accept those driver linking invitations. Once he does that, all of those vehicles will instantly show on his profile. A couple of things, he can also add his personal cars, and those won't be shared back because there's no driver linking back, so he can still use Bonnet to manage his personal vehicles if he wants to on his phone, as well as have all of those business vehicles in there as well. So if I go ahead and click invite, you can now see all those invitations are pending for him to go and accept. Another key factor is this green icon up here is actually an indication of what vehicles are linked with other profiles. So Greg, if this say was linked with Greg, this Volkswagen, he can update the odometer reading, which will update the rucks and the servicing. He can also update WAF, rego, warranty, in any fields that he wants on the app. He can also log into his website version of Bonnet and also see that same vehicle in there. So really good for keeping on top of rucks cheaply. Greg can also add in service notes into his app, and all of those service logs will show instantly within the service logs area. So he can add in things like windscreen, chip of the windscreen, tire tread tracking going down, anything like that, and the fleet manager will see all of that information come into the side. So good for kind of health and safety, keeping up to date with what's going on with that car. He can additionally add any images or invoicing or anything like that, potentially like the worksheet which was done for a WOF, or anything that needs to be filed against that vehicle. This service logs area, you can search by vehicles or you can select by drivers. So if you want to see all the logs that Greg's actually put in here, you can select Greg. We haven't linked many drivers within this demo profile, so there's only shown one. Or if you want to see all the servicing against that Volkswagen, you just select that Volkswagen and it will change. Additionally, whoops, that's their file we've added as testing. Additionally, you can type in a keyword. Potentially you could be like, you know, if you're looking for a part or something like that, you can type that in there, or a number plate. And then the last thing that I'll quickly just show you is how you add service notes. So if you want to add a service note, you go to the vehicle that you want to add it to. So let's say we want to add a service note for this Land Rover Discovery. I'm going to go to the service notes button here, or on the view list, it's going to show over here, add a service note. So add a service note, it's going to pop up with this. Let's just say WOF pass, and the date that it was passed. Let's go to today's date, that's more common. Notes from the service, so full WOF pass, oil change, full service. And then we're going to put in notes for next service, so things like back right tire tread low will need replacement, or you know, rust starting to form, etc. And then you can upload a file, whether that's the worksheet, which was what was done, or an image of the rust or the tire, anything like that that you want to get filed within this log. So then go on and edit that in, and then it will show here. Yeah, so that is it. I mean, it's a simple but effective platform. We are constantly adding features in. So insurance was actually just released this week. Driver licensing is here too. So when you enter in a driver, you can put in their expiry and it will traffic light. So we are looking to actually get a live feed with the NZTA, so fleets will be notified if any of their drivers are disqualified. Yeah, we're constantly adding fun and exciting things, so I hope this gives you a good idea of how to use the platform. The other thing that I'll just touch on is the reminders. So reminders get sent via email and notification for all of your vehicles. So if you do invite a driver to those vehicles, he will also receive the email and notifications for those vehicles. We start to send reminders for WOF Redro COF from 3 months, just one email or notification at 3 months, then 2 months, then 4 weeks, then 3 weeks, then 2 weeks, and they start to become more frequent until it expires or until you update the date. The one thing that I do that's very important, which I've forgotten, is how to refresh your due dates. So I've gotten a new WOF and registration for this vehicle here. I want to click the refresh button above the circle. You can do this multiple ways. You can press the refresh button above the Rego WOF circle, or you can press refresh here. It all does really the same thing. We just wanted to make it quite obvious. So let's go refresh Rego, and then you're going to be hit with this pop-up. So you're going to be asked if you want to refresh all of the data across your whole entire fleet. So I usually say don't do that, because you're going to be using up your WOF and Rego and RUC credits. You want to just do one at a time. The only time that you will do a fleet-wide refresh is if you've been sick for 6 months and you just know everything's out of date. Or if you haven't accessed the platform. So just bear that in mind. So I'm just going to go this one, and then it also tells you how many credits. So you've got 2 credits for WOF and Rego, and 4 for a RUC vehicle per year, and those add up against all your vehicles. So if you've got 30 vehicles, you get 30 times that amount of credits, and they all can be used against any vehicle. Obviously, petrol vehicles don't have rucks, but you still get rucks credits for those cars. So if you've got 30 vehicles and one's a ruck car, you've still got, like, I can't do quick maths, but a lot of ruck credits. And those will refresh on the anniversary of when your vehicles or premium was started. So we have put a limit on those just because you know, we have to pay the data with the NZTA. However, if we see that people are going over, we'll just give you more credit. So it is just a safety thing for us to have that credit thing there. But yeah, if you go over them at all, we'll just give you some more. And if we're finding that's happening for quite a few fleets, we'll just increase those limits as well. So I'm going to go okay. And then bada boom, bada bang, you can see the register has pulled through and the WAF's updated. And if that was a ruck vehicle, those credits would update too. That data for the license would update. So the last thing before I go, if you go onto subscription, this is where you can see your credits. So you've got credits for WAF, Rego and Cough here, 33, and then you've got ruck credits, 79. And you can also download invoicing here as well. And yeah, that's it. I hope you love the platform. We are growing very fast, so it's super exciting. But yeah, in terms of any feature requests that anyone is after, just send them to me hot and heavy. I will add them all to the list, and we're just basically building what we feel like all of the fleets and people are after at the moment. So it's a very exciting time, and yeah, any questions, let me know. My email is steph@bonnet.co.nz. Thank you so much.